Gracias. Welcome to the International Exhibitions of the Vocational Study Programs of Faculty of Economics, Universitas Negeri Jakarta. Through this event, we aim to provide our students the opportunity to implement what they have learned in the classes and also to showcase their projects in the global level. We hope you can learn and enjoy the showcase made by our vocational students, and we also provide you with a video tutorial to access the website of International Exhibitions. Enjoy!
So good morning, everyone. I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Economics, Universitas Negeri Jakarta. We would like to welcome all of you to be in this platform for this students' conference.
ketiga.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Zoom room of the Business Digital Lab of Universitas Negeri Jakarta. The International Students Conference on Business, Education, Economics, Accounting, and Management is about to begin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and all of our distinguished guests. The Honorable Professor Usep Suhut MSc PhD, Dean of the Faculty of Economics Universitas Negeri Jakarta. To whom we respect the array of Vice Deans in the Faculty of Economics, the array of programs coordinators and lecturers in the Faculty of Economics, our speaker, Professor Mohamed Sameh El Namaki from the VU School of Management, Dr. Muhammad Aslamia from University Science Malaysia, Dr. Azizi Abdul Aziz from the University Malaysia Sabah, our moderator, Mr. Ari Waroka, and all of our participants.
Welcome to the 2024 International Students Conference on Business, Education, Economics, Accounting, and Management.
It's a big honor and precious opportunity for me, Gatan Razidi, and my partner,
Natanya Kaira,
from Duta Universitas Negeri Jakarta, who will be your host for this important event.
The 2024 ISC-BEAM marks the second time that it has been held by the Faculty of Economics with 406 participants from 7 countries. Along with a seminar and parallel session, there will also be an international exhibition of vocational programs. And as a reminder to all of our participants to please follow the event until the very end, because there will be an attendance link to fill out. Ladies and gentlemen, to begin this event, let us sing the Indonesian national anthem, Indonesia Raya.
Moving on to our next session, which is a prayer session that will be led by Mr. Adnan Kasofi, MBA. To Mr. Adnan Kasofi, MBA, the time is yours.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In order to seek the blessing for this agenda from the Almighty, let me guide all of us to pray in Islamic way, as for another religion to follow their own way. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, and the most merciful. O Allah, the Lord of all worlds, the most compassionate and the most merciful, we gather here today as students from different corners of the globe, united by a common quest for knowledge and understanding. We seek your guidance and blessing as we embark on this international student conference. Almighty Allah, we are grateful for the diversity that surrounds us. We acknowledge that you have created us into nations and tribes to know one another. We beseech you to instill in our hearts the virtues of tolerance, respect, and empathy for our fellow human beings, regardless of their backgrounds and beliefs. O Allah, bless this gathering with your wisdom and knowledge. Grant us the ability to learn from one another, to appreciate the beauty of our difference, and to build bridge of understanding that transcend cultural and linguistic boundaries. As we engage in discussion and share our experience, we pray for enlightenment and open-mindedness. May our interactions be filled with mutual respect and genuine desire to foster peace and harmony in this world. O Allah, we ask for your guidance for the organizers, speakers, and also participants of this conference. May their efforts be guided by sincerity and commitment to making a positive impact on the global community. We seek your protection and well-being for everyone present here. Bless us with fruitful discussion, meaningful connection, and sense of unity that transcends our differences. O Allah, accept our humble gathering and make it means for us to grow intellectually, spiritually, and morally as well. In your name, the most merciful, we invoke these blessings. Amen.
Thank you to Mr. Adnan Kasofi, MBA, for leading our praying session in this event.
Next will be the welcome speech by the Dean of the Faculty of Economics to Professor Usep Suhud, MSc, PhD. The time is yours.
All right. Thank you, Kiara and Gatan. So good morning, good people. It is a happiness for having this kind of conference. So this is our second students conference with abundance of participants. I would like to welcome and thanks for our special speaker, my Nepal Professor Muhammad Sameh El Namaki. We invited him because his expertise in AI. AI now is like, a friends and also enemy. So we can call it with frenemy because it disrupt our lives in many levels, in many ways. So we human now is not competing with not only with other humans but also with AI. So by having this speaker, I hope we all participants, students, and also lecturers to enhance the knowledge and skill, and to make friends with AI. I also would like to welcome and thanks to other speakers like Bapak Muhammad Aslam and also Bapak Azaze from both of them from Malaysia. Yeah, I met them personally a couple times ago. So also I would like also to thanks to Bapak Ari Waroka as the moderator of the day. So ladies and gentlemen, by saying Bismillah, I proclaim this conference begins. Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much to Professor Usep Suhud, MSc, PhD, for the welcome speech.
Next is our session with our keynote speaker, Professor Mohammed Sameh Al-Namaki. Before we enter this session, let us read his CV first. Professor Mohammed Sameh Al-Namaki is now the Dean of the VU School of Management in Switzerland. Professor Al-Namaki has developed and introduced management degree programs such as MBA, EMBA, DBA, and PhD. Professor Al-Namaki published 10 books and more than 100 articles. Some of his latest book publications include Strategic Thinking in the Age of Artificial Intelligence in 2022 and Macmillan's Neo-Strategic Management, Conceptual and Operational Foundations of Tomorrow's Strategic Thinking in 2023. Professor El-Namaki's article include prize-winning as Does the Thinking of Yesterday Management Gurus Imperil Today's Companies? And Professor El-Namaki has received several government awards, including a distinction award from the government of Malaysia in 2016 and the China Friendship Award from the government of the People Republic of China in 2018. So let us welcome Professor Mohammed Sameh El-Namaki. The time is yours.
Thank you very much. I'm just trying to thank you very, very much, for this very generous introduction. It's my pleasure to be here, and it is really an honor and a privilege. I should like to start right away talking about the subject, of the session, which is artificial intelligence and the relationship between artificial intelligence and education, especially the MBA degree. I'm shifting now to the PowerPoint presentation. Right. And I should like to spend about, say, the next 20 minutes talking about really something of great importance to the participants at this conference, which is tomorrow, and tomorrow's artificial intelligence, and the impact of tomorrow's artificial intelligence on the most popular degree that we are having, the MBA, the Masters in Business Administration. I have chosen this subject because technology is moving fast, and business education will have to catch up with all of that. When I look at the current state of our MBA education, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying it has a lot to catch up with, especially in terms of technology. Technology is penetrating every aspect of business, is penetrating every aspect of our life. It's creating shifts and driving forces of industries, and it's changing the very executive competencies which we require from our MBA graduate. So my point really is, where will those students who want to do some matching with the future, where should they go? First, let's agree that tomorrow equals innovation. Everything that's going to happen tomorrow will be related to issues like machine learning, natural language processing, virtual agents, robot process automation, etc. All of these are new terms and are new words which we are coming across, and they are going to shape our future. But the question is, how much do we know about all of that? Now, artificial intelligence, changes a lot of that. And the artificial intelligence MBA that I am suggesting is a degree that is essentially technology rooted. It deals with tomorrow's artificial intelligence technology competencies. It deals with technology-based analytics. It deals with technology industry applications. It deals with things like the hardware of the artificial intelligence industry, the chip and the semiconductor industry. And it deals with the continuous process of change that we are going through. Now, if this is the what we are looking at, how does this future MBA look like? Because it's going to be a future MBA. We may resist today, we may delay it tomorrow, we may find excuses not to do it, but this is tomorrow as it's going to emerge. Now, the structure of this new MBA, if I may call it that, is going to be built on 3 components. The first is the concepts of artificial intelligence. The second is the technologies of artificial intelligence. And the third is the competences that artificial intelligence creates. So we go from the concepts to the technologies to the competences. And the combination of all 3 of them leads us to business capabilities. New business capabilities that we did not have before. Now, let's look a little bit closer at each of those. When we talk about the concept of artificial intelligence, we are talking really about 3 different subjects. And I feel sorry that in the analysis of artificial intelligence globally, the distinction is not made very clear. We talk about all issues of artificial intelligence, but we don't say that artificial intelligence is really what I call an infant science. It's science which is emerging and is taking shape. And at the base of that are essentially 3 sub-concepts. The first, artificial intelligence as a system. The second, artificial intelligence as a function. And the third is artificial intelligence as a capability. Those are 3 different ways of approaching artificial intelligence. And the MBA, I'm suggesting, will deal with those. The second element of this MBA or new MBA will be artificial intelligence technologies. We come across many terms today. They are thrown at us. They are thrown at our face in TVs and talk shows. And honestly, some of them are unknown to the audience, we talk about machine learning. We talk about deep learning. We talk about generative artificial intelligence. Each of those are different technologies with different tools, with different algorithms, and with different implications for business. We have to understand those in the future. Otherwise, we cannot sail in our world of future. Our corporations of future would deal with those things as day-to-day terminology and concepts. We have to know them. The corporations will ask us to know that. And then we come to the competencies. What should I know as a competency? What should I have as a competency to qualify for the job of tomorrow? There are 2 types of competencies in my eyes. The first type of competency is business-based. There, you get business skills, you get technology skills, and you get analytical skills. I should like to emphasize the analytical skills because they are very important in our world today. Data analytics and data sciences, these today are the foundation of a lot of what's going on around us. So this kind of skill, business-related skill, data analytics and analytical skills are number 1 in the competencies. You should know how to deal with data and how to use data for the proper business objectives. And then after that, you have to know the technology implications of all of that. And from there, you move down up to the general, I would say, strategic thinking, within that new world of ours. There are also generic skills and competencies that you should know as a foundation. One of them is deep learning, another one is cognitive computing, another one is computer vision, machine learning, natural language processing. Those are ABCs that we should all know in the future. Now, I'm talking a little bit fast, simply because there's a lot to cover within the 20 minutes, but I can see I still have about 10 minutes to go. I should like to discuss with you a little bit how a program like that could look like, especially for you students, because you are moving towards this future world, and you should know what's waiting you there. You should know what to choose and what to do. So the program of that artificial intelligence MBA will be built around three components. The first are the concepts, the second are the technologies, and the third are the competencies. Those three components are independent. We cover them in such a future MBA in three different segments of the program. In the first segment, we deal with the concepts. And these concepts are built around 5 courses, 15 credits, and it's multi-science, and it's based on classroom communication plus independent work. The second is technologies, 5 courses again, 15 credits, built on software and hardware. Finally are the competences, the skills that you should get when you are out of the program. And you'll find those in industry applications, industry analysis, strategy formulation for these emerging industries, and client consulting. Now, this is the program as I am suggesting it. How far is this different from the current MBA program? It's very, very different. Number one, and I think this is a rather important point to realize, it's multi-science. Artificial intelligence is not a single science. Artificial intelligence is a blend of sciences. 1 week ago, I won a prize in China in a conference in Chengdu. The conference was dealing with artificial intelligence, and my paper was Artificial Intelligence Roots of Science. In other words, the relationship between artificial intelligence and the different sciences. This unique MBA that I'm suggesting will be also a multi-science. It will not only be a single track, management or economics or, but it will be multi-science. It will have a bit of sciences that we are dealing with now in a very general way. There will be psychology, but there will be physics. There will be behavior science, but there will be also biology. There will be neurology. We'll have to get used to integrate all of these into the artificial intelligence of the future. So it's unique in that multi-science aspect. Then after that, it has unique subjects like business psychology, semiconductor engineering, strategic thinking when dealing with technology, competency demonstration, and new physics. And then on the blue frame that you find on the right hand, you find subjects that you will have to deal with in the future, and like probability and statistics, like programming language knowledge, like using specific tools, like distributed computing, creativity and curiosity. All these subjects are going to emerge in our future. One of you will say, okay, professor, now we have enough of all that professorship. Why don't you tell us, what are we going to do with this degree? Is there a market for it? Am I going to make some money out of it? Or are you just, telling us theory? No, I want to assure you, it's not a theory. If you qualify in the artificial intelligence MBA degree, you will be having a magnificent market waiting for you. Why? Because artificial intelligence skills and competencies are leading the world today. Let's look at some of the parameters that we have there. Number one, jobs. In the area of artificial intelligence, we have new jobs we never had before. We have jobs like data scientist. We have jobs like business intelligence developer. We have jobs like product management related to artificial intelligence technologies. We have jobs like big data engineers. All these jobs did not exist a few years before, but they are emerging now, and they are emerging in a very large volume. let me tell you about the, before I move there, about the shortage we have in some of these jobs. Artificial intelligence jobs are hard to fill. There are many jobs around, but many of them are difficult to fill. We cannot find the people. Computer scientists, algorithm engineer, principal scientist, computer vision engineer, machine learning engineer, data scientist, all of that, we have shortage in all of these jobs. And once you qualify with an MBA like this, you will be entering this wonderful world of the new jobs. Now, let me go one step back and say, but how much money can you make out of these? Salaries for this kind of jobs, and I'm quoting here some salaries in the United States, by the way, they are quite high. So you will be rewarded. For example, you can see in this chart here that machine learning engineer would earn at least 138,000 US dollars in the United States a year. That people like computer vision engineer won't differ that much. You find that scientists, data scientists, could make a lot of money. So once you're out of this, you are earning a lot of money. I guess I'm having 5 minutes left, right? So once you're doing this, then you get into the areas, like artificial intelligence development, artificial intelligence architecture, machine learning engineering, data analytics, data scientists, and you will get into expanding industries. And of course, contracting industries. One of the industries that's expanding very fast as far as artificial intelligence is concerned is health. And then you have communication, hospitality, education. But some industries are going to be shrinking in terms of artificial intelligence, like manufacturing. Now, your following question will be, all right, but tell me which industries I should look at. If you look at this figure here, you find that automobile industry is one of those. EVs, electric vehicles and self-driven vehicles are a brand new market, which is opening wide doors, for the application of artificial intelligence. The self-driven automobiles, for example, are in the very first stage of development, and there's a lot to happen there. We have an education, a challenge to adjust all our educational curricula and systems to this new phenomena. You have in finance a wide world, to restructure the banking industry, restructure the capital market. You have in government quite a lot of room for government digitalization, for example. In health, a lot of room for new drug testing, for diagnosis with the help of artificial intelligence, etc. So artificial intelligence are entering each and every of those industries, and not only in one country, globally. Here is an estimate of the global economic impact by 2030. How the global impact of how the AI is going to impact the GDP in number of countries. And I'm glad to see that China will be one of those countries where the impact is going to be the greatest. The impact in China, I'm afraid to say, is going to be even larger than in the United States. I have been feeling that last week when I was in Chengdu in that conference. The prevalence of the concept and the awareness of the concept is massive. Finally, the market for artificial intelligence is expanding as well. Here's a chart that gives you the different types of markets. You have hardware markets, you have service markets, and you have software markets. If you look at this carefully, you can make a choice. Do you want to be a hardware man? Do you want to be a service man? Or do you want to be a software man or woman, for that matter? Those are different artificial intelligence markets with different requirements. And you have to be careful where you want to be. I have observed that the majority now are going into software, maybe because it's an easy industry, But hardware is a much more difficult industry, the chip industry. So finally, it's a choice that you make. I can see I'm almost reaching the last few minutes of my 20-minute allocation. So it's a choice you should make. You should make, where do you want to go? What kind of qualifications you want to have? And in what kind of industry you want to indulge. And artificial intelligence is the future of everything. Bear that in mind and start your journey. Thank you very much. I hope I did not speak too fast or project too much in the short time. Thank you. I'm going back to, let me see. I always have difficulty with these. You want? I think you better take it over from here. I'm shutting down the
Thank you very much to Professor Muhammad Sameh El Namaki for filling our session.
Moving on, we will now enter our panel discussion, which will be led by our moderator, Mr. Ari Waroka. Before we begin, let us first read his CV. Ari Waroka holds a PhD in corporate finance with predicate summa cum laude from Universidad Autónoma de Madrid, or UAM, Spain, and becomes the first Asian PhD student that graduated from UAM less than 3 years. He also has 4 master degrees from European and Asian reputable universities. His vast experience with more than 25 years in education and business consulting has performed a solid background for delivering services in certain areas, such as corporate finance, merger and acquisition, capital market, international business, European Union political economy, SMES management, and strategic academic collaboration management. Based on his expertise, he was assigned to be a visiting professor for undergraduate and postgraduate programs in Indonesian, Middle East, and Southeast Asian reputable universities. To Mr. Ari Waroka, the time is yours.
Thank you very much for the Master of Ceremonies. I think after we get the presentation from Professor El Namaki, it's very interesting insights how to see the progress or the future of MBA curriculum, which embracing AI as the competitive advantage. Right now, we will continue this discussion by us, Dr. Azaze. We will ask Professor Dr. Azaze, Aslamia or Azaze? Dr. Aslamia to present his presentation. But before that, I would like to read first his CV. Dr. Aslamia, he is an enthusiastic, young, and output-oriented competent researcher in economic, specialization in microfinance or finance, with more than 5 years of solid post-PhD. research and teaching experience aiming to solve and view global or economic issues. Dr. Aslamia got his PhD from University of Malaysia in 2017. His PhD dissertation is Market Structure, Mission Drift, and Productivity Towards a Sustainable Microfinance Industry in Bangladesh. Dr. Aslamia has some excellent awards and achievements. For example, he has Anugerah Penerbitan Cemerlang or Outstanding Publication Award Publication Quantity in 2021 from School of Management University Science Malaysia. And he has also won some research grants from the Malaysian government and Bangladesh government. At the same time, you will see his teaching and research experience is so enormous and excellent. For example, right now, he is a senior lecturer or assistant professor in University Science Malaysia. He is also served as adjunct professor from the 1st January 2024 until the 1st January 2025 in University in Airlangga University Surabaya, Indonesia. Besides his excellent teaching and research skill, he has also published some paper, especially in management, business and management. For example, we will see in his last publication, he talked about the transformation of conventional microfinance into Islamic microfinance in Bangladesh in 2024. And he co-authored as well in a paper entitled Both Gender Diversity and Debt Utilization, Evidence from the Global Microfinance Industry, which is published in Bursa Istanbul Review. This is a Q1 or the first quartile in Scopus. Based on his CV, I would like to ask Professor Dr. Aslamia to present his presentation. Dr. Aslamia, time is yours.
Okay, first of all, Assalamu alaikum and good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Professor Ari, for your very wonderful, introductions about myself. I think you have, explained a lot of activities and tasks that I've been doing. Let me just share the screen. Can you see my PPT? Anyone, please confirm?
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right. Okay, so once again, thank you very much, for giving me the chance to talk about artificial intelligence in this wonderful conference organized by Faculty of Economics, Universitas Negeri Jakarta. So, as the moderator has already explained about myself, I think I should not be discussing much on this. So
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry
Yep.
to interrupt. We can't see your material because we just see your Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
I'm
you
just trying
can switch the presentation. Yeah.
Can you see now?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet, sir.
Not yet, sir.
I'm not sure what's wrong here.
Do you need help to share your material? Is it okay if our committee to join it?
Yeah, I think that would be nice as well if you can share my PPT.
Okay, we can help you.
Can I start now?
Yes, you can start right now.
Okay, so sorry for the interruptions. Okay, sometimes this technology is actually making our life bit complicated. Anyway, so the topic that I'm going to discuss today is actually applying artificial intelligence or machine learning in banking and finance. Next slide. So now my presentations is actually divided into two parts. The first part, I will be giving a brief overview of what is artificial intelligence and machine learning, which is actually developed based on the Microsoft descriptions of AI and ML. And I also think that the previous speaker has covered a lot of nice and informations about this machine learning as well as artificial intelligence. And the second part of my presentations will be related to applying these machine learning techniques to the real banking and finance context. So these two part I will be covering in my presentations today. So initially I'll be discussing just brief part and then focusing on practical applications of machine learning and artificial intelligence technique. Okay, next slide. Next. Okay, so I think one of the trendy word nowadays is about AI or artificial intelligence. And I'm sure all of you already very much familiar with what does it mean by AI and what does it mean by machine learning. But still, I'll be just trying to recap. Artificial intelligence is actually a capability of a computer system that can mimic human being. Okay, so you are considering it a kind of substitute to human being as well, that has a cognitive power to make decisions. So computer through this artificial intelligence can also act like a human being, and they can also act like the decision makers for any kind of problems, real world problems, or any kind of issues that we actually assign to them. And in this case, this AI system or artificial intelligence actually use the computer system, and they also use mathematics and logics to simulate the reasoning that people use to learn from new informations and make decisions. So this is very much relevant in current world because we see that we have a lot of access to the data set, different types of data set, different types of informations because of these digitalizations around the world. And these AI technologies can actually use those vast informations to come up with potential solutions as well as potential remedies for any kind of issues that we have. And I would also like to highlight that artificial intelligence and machine learning, to some extent, they are not similar. Okay, they have some differences, and they are not exactly synonymous, or they are not exactly same to each other. There are some differences. So machine learning is actually an application of AI. So in that case, artificial intelligence, I would say, is a kind of broader perspective, and machine learning is actually a part of artificial intelligence. And in this process, it's actually use also mathematical modelings of data to help a computer learn without direct instruction. This enables a computer system to continue learning and improving on its own based on experience. So this machine learning, we can actually give instruction to the system to run or to identify any issues or problems. And then you can also ask them to automatically perform the analysis, and they will be learning by doing those analyses. So it will also work as a kind of intelligence. Okay, it's a kind of part of artificial intelligence that will be using machine learning techniques or machine learning algorithms to provide solutions to the problems. Next slide. Now, as I said, that machine learning and AI are actually not same, but they are very much closely connected. For example, we call this machine learning is part of or subset of artificial intelligence. And in this case, how they are connected, an intelligent computer actually uses artificial intelligence to think like a human and perform tasks on its own, while the machine learning is actually how a computer system develops its intelligence. So in this case, I always say that machine learning and artificial intelligence is actually like teacher and students. For example, we as a teacher, we call ourselves as a machine learning. All right, we give instruction to our students, we share our knowledge with our students, and the students afterward, they use their own skill, they use their own knowledge to identify solutions and so on and so forth, because the students will be coming up with their own solutions and develop their own intelligence. So machine learning and artificial intelligence is like the relationship between a teacher and a student. So teacher we consider as a kind of machine learning, and a student is the product of this AI. Next slide. Now, how this AI and machine learning actually work together, as we said that both AI and ML are actually connected to each other. So if I divide this task into 4 different steps, then you will see in the first step, an artificial intelligence is actually system is built using machine learning and other techniques. So artificial intelligence is actually composition of a lot of machine learnings and other techniques that we have in recent years. And in step 2, machine learning models are actually created by studying patterns in the data. As you know that whenever we want to apply machine learning techniques, we will be actually understanding the trend of the data, we'll be trying to understand the pattern of the data. So machine learning will actually help us to identify the pattern, or if there is any kind of anomalies in the data set. And in step 3, data scientists actually optimize the machine learning models based on pattern in the data. So after understanding the data patterns, after understanding the situations of the data set that we have, then the data scientist will actually optimize those learnings to apply into the new kind of data set. And lastly, the process actually repeats and is refined until the model's accuracy is high enough for the task that need to be done. Meaning to say that it's a continuous process of learning. So machine learning and AI will actually continuously improve their modeling, continuously improve the algorithms to make it up to the perfect positions. Next slide. So now, referring to our previous, discussion as well, that what AI and ML actually can do, because nowadays we see that these two words are actually becoming more trendy, not only in businesses, in academia as well. And in this case, I have just tried to highlight what are the aspects or what are the tasks that we can actually, utilize these AI and machine learning techniques. The first one, we call it predictive analysis. If I want to predict something, if I want to predict whether my business sales is going to increase or decrease next year based on the previous years of data, it can be very helpful. Okay. So any kind of predictive analysis, whether it's for businesses or whether it's for any kind of non-commercial activities, so this AI and machine learning can actually help us to have this kind of predictions about the next year and so on and so forth. And then recommendation engines, I think many of us are very familiar with this, that whenever we actually search something, then we'll see that a lot of similar products are actually popping up in our mobile phones through advertisement and so on and so forth. So this machine learning and AI also is actually being used in recommendation search engines, for example, Google or any other web browsers that we actually use. And then speech recognition and natural language understanding. So speech recognition enables a computer system to identify words in spoken language, and natural language understanding recognizes meaning in written or spoken languages. So because of this artificial intelligence and machine learning, we see that the communications in different languages actually becoming easier and easier day by day. For example, if you are speaking in one language, so this machine learning or AI techniques can actually translate it into another language with all those kind of written on it. So this becoming a kind of trendy use in most of the countries nowadays. And then image and video processing. So this is also one of the very important features that AI and machine learning can actually do. It actually make it possible to recognize faces. We have seen all those kind of recent innovations in digitalizations in terms of digital currency or whatever we say. We are actually using this kind of face recognition technologies, fingerprint, and so on and so forth. It can also identify any kind of actions in images and videos. So for a true comparison or true investigations of videos and image processing, AI and machine learning can be a very useful tool. And then for the sentiment analysis, a computer system uses sentiment analysis to identify and categorize positive, neutral, and negative attitudes that are expressed in text. So this is also very significant usage of AI and machine learning nowadays. Most of the time, we have huge amount of informations, we have access to vast amount of information, but it's very difficult for us to manually sort out which one is about positive, which one is about negative. If we take, for example, the reviews of a hotel, for example. So this machine learning and AI can actually filter in all those reviews about the people who stayed at the particular hotels, and they can categorize it at a positive, negative, and neutral, and so on and so forth, by learning about the text, by reading the text that we have in the system. Next slide. And then, more sources of data input. As I have said, we are living in the era of digitalizations. Informations become very easy. Informations, become very vast, and we can actually have access to a lot of informations about any aspects or any kind of, analysis that we want to do. So this machine learning and AI is actually enabling companies to discover valuable insights in a wider range of structured and unstructured data sources. So businesses particularly utilizing those techniques and tools to develop and come up with new products, as well as understanding the consumer behavior through this machine learning and AI technologies. Better, faster decision making. I think all of you would agree that because of this AI and machine learning, decision making actually becoming more efficient and more quicker compared to if we make the manual decisions. Because sometimes we have a huge number of data set, huge number of informations, and processing them manually will require a lot of time, will require a lot of manpower. But with the help of this AI and machine learning, they can actually quickly go through all those informations and actually give us a quick decisions about the vast number of informations we have. So because of the usage of AI and machine learning, it will also increase the operational efficiency. So maybe 10 or 15 people that can do a task or a work, machine learning can do it, maybe within 1 hour, and so on and so forth. So this has been a very, trendy usage, especially among the companies, among the businesses, because it increases the operational efficiency. We don't need a lot of human power. We don't need a lot of human resources. AI can actually, use less amount of resources to provide us, the similar kind of solutions, and so on and so forth. Next slide. So now, as we have seen that the benefits of AI and machine learning is actually quite huge. So the usage of these machine learning and AI technologies is being incorporated in almost every sector of the economy, I would say, including from retail, healthcare, banking and finance, sales and marketing. And all of those firms, companies, suppliers, producers, they are actually integrating those AI and machine learning techniques. For example, if we look at the retail sector, we see that companies or firms are actually using those technologies to optimize their inventories, how much inventory they should keep or how much production they should keep, in their warehouse. And they are also trying to predict the demand of the consumers through the past informations and so on and so forth. And then, as you have said, that machine learning and AI can also read the image and also the videos. So healthcare sector is also utilizing these techniques because it can actually process a lot of informations about health related issues. For example, it can also look at the cancer detection and predictive analytics for genomics research. And then banking and finance, one of the topic that I actually work on is actually also utilizing AI and machine learning techniques, especially to identify if there is any kind of fraud transactions, and also predicting the riskiness of the potential borrowers, as well as more proactive financial advice. So even the banks nowadays, they are also trying to utilize those machine learning techniques as a tool to screening their loan applications. And they can also utilize those tools and techniques to actually identify or categorize the borrowers into different segments like low risk borrower, high risk, medium risk, and so on and so forth. And then in terms of sales and marketing, the AI and machine learning is also very useful. Those of you or those of us are actually using those apps to buy or shop online. We know that machine learning and AI technologies are heavily used by those platform or outlet. So whenever we search one product, they will also optimize our searching options through connecting with different products and services. And in this case, the company can also be benefited by utilizing their forecasting through the customer demand and also the sentiment analysis and also the prediction of customer churn. So those are the helpful features that AI and machine learning are actually offering to the businesses, to the individuals, and to anybody that are actually interested in utilizing those technologies into the businesses or into their activities. Next slide. Yeah, and then in terms of cybersecurity, this is also a very powerful tool, especially in helping organizations to protect themselves and their customers by detecting anomalies. I think most of the online transactions that we do now is also involve this AI technologies to ensure that there is no anomalies happening. And then customer service companies in wide range of industries use chatbots, especially this is very true, especially if you see the airlines companies. So airlines companies are actually using those chatbots, all right, and cognitive search to answer questions, gauge customer intent, and provide virtual assistance. And most of the airline companies are actually utilizing this artificial intelligence to provide solutions to the customer concern or customer questions. And then transportation sector is also utilizing these techniques because they can provide more efficient routes and use predictive analysis for the purposes of traffic forecasting and so on and so forth. And lastly, the manufacturing, I think one of the significant sector that particularly utilizes machine learning and AI technologies is actually the manufacturing industry. So they utilize those techniques for predictive maintenance and to make their operations more efficient than ever. So by utilizing those technologies, those manufacturing firms or companies, they are capable of identifying the business demand, they are capable of identifying their inventories needed and forecasting of sales and so on and so forth. Okay, next slide. Next slide, please. All right. So as I said, my presentation is actually divided in two parts. So the first part, I just tried to have an overview what AI and machine learning, and what are the features of these two aspects of this technological development that we have seen in recent years. So in the second part, I will try to apply those machine learning techniques to actually analyze the real world scenario. All right, next slide. So in this case, what I'm trying to do is actually predicting the financial performance of microfinance institutions. I think we have quite large number of participants in this seminar today, and I'm sure all of you already know, or all of you have quite a kind of understanding about the microfinance institutions or microfinance and so on and so forth. Let me just give you a kind of brief. So microfinance institutions actually provide small scale loan facilities, saving facilities, and so on and so forth to the poor and unbanked people in most of the developing countries. Even in Indonesia itself, we also have a lot of microfinance institutions that provide small scale loan services. So those microfinance institutions actually emerge because many poor people, they cannot get or they cannot borrow money from the commercial banks, because commercial bank, the way they operate their operations is quite different. So for the commercial banks, whenever you want to borrow money, you have to have some collateral, whether it's an asset or whatever it is. But for the poor people, it's quite difficult to meet up this collateral requirement. So that is why we have seen the emergence of this microfinance banking system in 1970s. So since 1970s, because of this remarkable change, in terms of lending, it has gained popularity, and it has actually expanded over 120 plus countries nowadays. So these microfinance institutions, what they do, they actually provide these loan services, saving facilities, insurance, and so on and so forth for the poor people without any physical collateral. And they actually depend on social collateral, meaning they depend on soft collateral, not physical one. And their operational system is quite unique and different compared to the conventional banking system. So when this microfinance institution actually emerged in 1970s, the objective was actually to provide these banking services to the poor people. All right. But along the way, as you know that, you cannot survive in the long run if you are not financially independent. So the initial objective of microfinance institution was to help the poor. We call it social outreach, helping the poor, helping the needy, and helping the impoverished groups of people who does not have access to financial capital. So that was the initial objective of microfinance institutions. And most of the microfinance institutions around the world were actually heavily dependent on donations, on subsidized funds, as well as government, kind of assistance. However, along the way, we see that microfinance cannot provide services in the long run if they are not financially independent. So gaining financial independence also becomes one of the important agenda of every microfinance institutions. So initially, although microfinance has only one goal, but now they are actually having two goals. One is providing services to the poor people. We call it social outreach. And second one is actually achieving financial sustainability. We call it, the financial goal. So microfinance actually have two goals, okay? Social outreach and financial sustainability. So what does it mean by financial sustainability? So we are saying that financial sustainability is actually the ability of the institutions to generate sufficient revenue to cover up their own cost. Because microfinance institution cannot depend on donations, cannot depend on concessionary loans, or cannot depend on subsidized funds forever. Okay, so they have to be self-independent in running their own operations. And studies or the researcher also found that if microfinance institutions are financially dependent or financially independent, they can actually provide better services for their clients. So the financial independency as well as social outreach of microfinance institutions are actually quite connected. So they are actually interdependent. If I have a better financial solvency, if I have a better financial position, I can actually provide better services to the poor people. So that is the linkages between financial sustainability and outreach of the microfinance institutions. So since these two goals are actually becoming important, many researchers and many academics are actually trying to investigate the issues associated related to this financial sustainability and outreach. Next slide. Now, so what is the gap? All right. So as you know that this machine learning or artificial intelligence are quite recent innovation, I would say. Most of the earlier studies that we have seen in microfinance that actually studied the relationship between different factors and financial performance factors as well as social outreach, most of them are actually relying on conventional econometric techniques, conventional econometric regressions, and so on and so forth. The usage of machine learning tools in microfinance research is quite limited. We only have a handful of research that have utilized machine learning techniques to understand what are the factors or what are the determinants that can affect the financial sustainability of the microfinance institutions. Among some of them, we have Nayok and Samantha, and you also have Pietra Pina. So those are the earlier researchers who actually studied, the behavior of microfinance in terms of financial sustainability through these machine learning techniques. But one of the issue with those research is that they focus on a single country context, and they also consider only a limited number of machine learning algorithms or machine learning tools. So in this case, next slide. In this case, based on this gap in the research, we actually came up with these two research objectives. And as I said, this is actually an ongoing research, with my postgraduate students. So we are still, revising, and we are still, conducting this research. So I'm just trying to share with you the preliminary findings of our research. So as per the objectives, so we actually have two objectives in this research. The first one, we are actually trying to identify the most effective machine learning techniques for predicting microfinance institution financial performance. So as you know that financial performance become one of the important agenda for microfinance institutions, we want to identify what is the most effective machine learning techniques or machine learning algorithms, because you know that there are probably hundreds of machine learning algorithms that can be utilized to predict the financial performance of microfinance institutions. But our purpose is actually to identify which one is the most effective that can provide us more accurate result of understanding the performance of microfinance institutions. And the second objective, after we have identified the most effective machine learning algorithms or techniques, the second objective we want to identify what are the factors that actually affect the financial performance of microfinance institutions using machine learning techniques. So we have actually divided our research into two parts. First part, we'll be trying to identify the best or most effective machine learning tools. And the second, we will identify what are the determinants or what are the factors that actually affect the financial performance of microfinance institutions through the applying of these machine learning techniques. Next slide. Now, to conserve time, I intentionally eliminated the literature review and so on and so forth. So I will straight away move ahead with the methodology as well as results and discussions. And in machine learning techniques, there are certain aspects we have to understand. Particularly, it involves we call it three different stages of analysis. In the first stage, we actually collect the data by doing the feature selections and data cleaning. So in the feature selection, we identify the conventional factors or determinants that actually affect the financial performance of microfinance institutions based on the literature, based on the existing studies, and based on the theories. So initially, we came up with those features, we came up with those factors, and then we collected the data, And then, of course, after we collected the data, we have to clean it because we rely on the secondary sources of data. And whenever we use the secondary sources of data, you will see that there are many issues with the data set. So we have to do this data cleaning through handling missing values. Indeed, there are many missing values as well. And also outliers. As I said, microfinance institutions, there are very large microfinance institutions, and there are also very small ones. And there are some data, there are some values that are quite unrealistic. So we also have to consider about outliers, and then standardizing the values. And then we have final data set, and the final data set actually is divided into two parts. One is training data, another one is testing data. And then, as I said, our objective is actually to identify the best machine learning techniques or machine learning algorithms. So we also do the model selections. There are many models, there are many machine learning algorithms, but we try to identify which one is the most. And then we utilize those techniques to train our data. And then we'll also validate our machine learning models. And then we come up with our results for the two objectives that we have. Next slide. Now, since we rely on secondary sources of data, let me try to elaborate a little bit more about the data and the data sources. We actually collected this data from the World Bank Mixed Market Database. It's a publicly available database. Anyone can actually collect and get it without any cost. So once we collected the data, we have encountered that there are a huge number of missing informations, huge number of duplications. So we have to come up with all those data cleaning procedures. And because of the missing informations, our data set is actually an unbalanced panel data set. And we have collected 9,059 farm year observations spanning from 2003 up to 2018. So our data set is quite large actually. So we have almost 10,000 observations, farm year observations between this 2003 and 2018 for the last 16 years. And we could not collect more recent years data because 2018 was the last data that we can get for our study. There were only a handful of observations in 2019, but for the sake of making it quite relatively balanced, we have dropped 2019 and we continue with our 2003 and 2018 data. Next slide. So now, as I said, there are many machine learning algorithms, and it might take a lot of time to explore all those machine learning algorithms to apply into our research. So what we did, we actually refer to some of the existing studies that mostly use those machine learning algorithms, especially from the banking and finance industry, because you know that microfinance is an informal kind of banking. So we try to look at some banking literature and see what are the recent and most commonly used machine learning algorithms by other researchers. So after I studying those literature, we have actually come up with those following algorithms. For example, we have linear regression, partial least square, linear regression with stepwise selection, random forest, quantile random forest, elastic net, Bayesian ridge regression, k-nearest neighbors, and support vector or regression analysis. So those are the algorithms that we'll be utilizing in our research. And among those 8 or 9, we'll try to identify which one is the best. Okay, we'll try to identify which one is the best in predicting the financial sustainability of microfinance institutions. Next slide. So now, as we said, we also have to come up with the feature selections. So in this research, we also identify the variables based on the existing literature, based on the existing theories, and so on and so forth. And in this case, we have to identify which one is the dependent variable and which one is the independent variable. So since we are talking about financial sustainability, so we actually utilize return on asset or ROA as our main dependent variable. And in terms of independent variables, we also have a couple of selected independent variables. For example, operating expense to total assets, financial revenue to assets, operational self-sufficiency, capital asset ratio, deposits to loans, then assets as a proxy to capture the size of the microfinance institutions. And then we also have average loan balance over per borrower over GNI to see how much the size of the loans. And then we also have utilized debt to equity ratio. And then we also use percent of female borrowers to understand the composition of the borrower's gender. And then we also use gross loan portfolio to total asset to understand whether they are mostly towards loan activities or deposit activities. So those are the main features or variables that we actually utilize in this research. Next slide. So now, even if we apply these machine learning techniques, we still need to check, because our data set is a panel data set, and we do not want our study to be affected by the multicollinearity issue. So you know that multicollinearity issue can actually alter the results. So you have to identify and verify that our model or our data set is not suffering from multicollinearity issue. So in that case, we have estimated variance inflation factors. So if you look at the variance inflation factors among those independent variables, none of the variables have values above 5. So usually we consider above 5 to have some sort of multicollinearity. So since the value is below 5, so we are confident that multicollinearity is not a serious issue in our research. Next slide. So now we also have a descriptive statistics. As you can see, we have all those constant number of observations for each variables, starting from 9,059. We have mean, we also have the standard deviations, we also have minimum, and then 25th quartile, 50, and then 75, and then we have maximum. So those are the basic informations about the variables and their descriptive statistics in this study. Next one. So now here we comes to the main results of our analysis. Okay, so as you can see, we actually splitted our data into two parts. One is training data set, another one is testing data set. And in this case, we actually use two ratios, 75% training, 25% testing. And then another one, 80% training and 20% testing. And those are the diagnostic tests that we actually utilize to identify which model is actually best in terms of machine learning algorithms. So here we see we have linear regression, PLASA, elastic net random, and so on and so forth. And if you look at here, 75%, 25% ratio, and if you look at in terms of R square, so as you know, R square is actually the explanatory power of the inclusion of independent variables into the model. So in this case, we generally understand that higher R square means the model has more explanatory power. So in that case, if you look at the random forest, almost 99% changes in our dependent variable can be explained by these included independent variables. So under this quantile random forest, we see that, under this random forest, we see that it has the highest R square, means it can explain our framework, it can explain our objective to identify the factors that can affect the financial performance of microfinance institutions. So for the random forest, you see training 99, and for the testing, it is also very close, 95. And then if you look at the different ratio, 80% training, 20% testing, and then we also see that it is almost similar, 99.09, and this is 95. So overall, if you look at this random forest model is actually one of the unique model that can better explain the changes in our dependent variable against those independent variables. So the first objective of our research, as we said, we want to identify which model has the best capacity to explain the financial performance of microfinance institution. So based on this result, it will be actually the random forest, because random forest has the highest explanatory power in explaining the changes in financial sustainability. Next slide. So now, as we said, the second objective is actually to identify which factor is actually influencing the financial sustainability of microfinance institutions. So in this case, this random forest model also help us to rank in terms of importance. For example, you see rank 1, OSS, operational self-sustainability. So operational self-sustainability actually has the highest values. If you look at here, compared to other variables, OSS has actually the highest values compared to other variables, meaning OSS is more important in explaining the financial sustainability of microfinance institutions. And any variables with positive sign means it will increase the financial sustainability, and any variable with negative sign means it will decrease the financial sustainability. So in this case, we know that operational self-sustainability is one of the important factors that affects the financial sustainability of microfinance institutions. And then second, we have operating expense of our total asset. Then we have financial revenue of our assets, then capital asset ratio, and so on, so forth. So this also answers the second objective of our study, that which one is the most influential factors in affecting the financial sustainability. And here we think we see that OSS is actually one of the most important factors that is affecting the financial sustainability of the microfinance institutions. Next slide. So in summary, all right, if I want to summarize, I can say that random forest model actually exhibits the optimal predictive model for assessing the financial performance of microfinance institutions. So among all other financial, among all other machine learning techniques that I have utilized in this research, we found that random forest is actually the superior model compared to others, because it can actually predict the financial sustainability more accurately compared to other machine learning models. And then in terms of the most influential factors, we found that OSS is actually the most influential factors that affect the financial sustainability of microfinance institutions. And then we have also realized that some other variables like OPTA, FINA, CAR, and DTE also demonstrate significant impacts on the financial performance of these institutions. Next slide. All right. So as I said, this is actually an ongoing research. All right. And of course, we are also utilizing machine learning. We are learning and utilizing, because machine learning is, as I said, is a kind of recent innovations. So we only consider the financial performance of microfinance institutions, and there might be many other prioritized goals. For example, social outreach, which we have not considered in this research. So although financial and social outreach are the two ultimate goal of microfinance institutions, but we only analyze one side, okay? So we cannot tell the whole pictures, we only analyze one side of the story. And then, of course, as I said, there are many machine learning tools and techniques, and we have not applied all those machine learning tools and techniques available in our research. Is because we are also not so much familiar with all those techniques and tools, because we see almost very frequently the new models, new algorithms are actually coming into the picture. So incorporating more more number of machine learning algorithms probably can have better results, can have better judgment of our financial predictions. And then we can also extend this analysis to understand bankruptcy or the credit risk, which has been a trendy topic in both microfinance and banking literature. All right. So all in all, what I can say is that we just attempted to utilize machine learning techniques in our research, and we actually found some interesting insights. and we are also planning to further improve it. So if you have any questions, any concern, or any suggestions, please feel free to let me know. I'll be trying to assist. I'll be trying to address your concerns. All right. So with that, thank you very much, everyone. I think that's all from my side.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Aslamia, for your very interesting presentation. Your insights or your findings, especially your research finding, in my opinion, is very interesting. It really triggers many. I believe it will triggers many questions how to make a further studies about your findings. So we have some question related to your presentation. I would like to share. There are at least in the session, at least there are two questions in this your based on your presentation. As you can see, first the question from Rina. As you can see, Dr.
All right.
Aslamia. Okay, this is the question from Miss Rina from UNJ. She asked you about the rise of AI in finance present both opportunities and challenges. While AI can enhance efficiency, accuracy, and personalization, it also raises concern about algorithmic bias, discrimination, and privacy breaches. So, how can we ensure that AI is used responsibly in finance, in your opinion, Prof?
Okay, thank you very much. As I said, I'm quite novice to using this machine learning and AI technologies in my research. So I will try to, share my own experience. And I think you have raised an important questions, because AI actually giving us a lot of opportunities, at the same time, a lot of challenges, because they cannot think outside of the box. AI has a limitation as well. So in that case, for me, what I would say is that whenever you use AI or machine learning techniques, in finance, in economics, or any kind of research, we have to verify it with ourselves, all right? Because sometimes the AI or machine learning can give you some superficial result that does not really make sense. So we as a researcher, we as an academician, so we have to verify ourselves. So my suggestion, do not totally depend 100% on these AI tools or techniques, all right? So you better rely on yourself and some conventional wisdom, all right? Because technologies, the way it make it easier, it can also have a lot of easy problems, all right? So try to avoid it 100%. Use your own instinct, use your own knowledge and conventional wisdom to understand whether it really makes sense or not. And I think with that, we can minimize the errors, we can minimize the negative influence of AI and as well as machine learning techniques. All right.
Okay, thank you, Prof, for your excellent response to the question. So the next question is, okay, I would like to share again
Okay.
the questions. This is the question from Dr. Professor Razali Sufiankoro from UMS, University Malaysia Sabah.
Yeah.
He asked about, why do you think the different algorithms give different R square? Because refer to your research finding, of course.
Okay. Okay. I think that's a very interesting questions. And the first of all, I would like to say, different algorithms have different assumptions. All right. For example, random forest has different assumptions. Quantile random forest has different assumptions. KNN or K nearest neighbors have different assumptions. So different assumptions for different algorithms, of course, the outcome will be different too. Okay. If every algorithms actually give us the similar R square, then what is the point we have to utilize different algorithms, right? We can use only one algorithm, unified one. So I think it more or less relied on how these algorithms are actually developed. Okay. Even in normal conventional regression techniques, right? We can have different R square in terms of random effect, in terms of fixed effect, in terms of pooled OLS is only because the assumptions are different in each of the models. So same thing for algorithms, same thing for this machine learning as well, because they have different assumptions and they also have different patterns of analyzing the data. So that's why the R square is going to be different.
Okay. Thank you for your response, Dr. Aslamia. But I would like to ask to Professor Razali Sufiankoro, your response to the answer from Dr. Aslamia. Professor Razali Sufiankoro, are you satisfied with the
Yeah, or anything? Maybe he can also add something on that.
Thank you, doctors.
Yeah.
Yes, I assume that the different algorithm means that they have different assumptions. So in your study, when you talk about assumptions, does it mean that you have to know what the assumptions are before you start doing the different, you test the different algorithms? And the next question it would be, I mean, the implication would be, if the forest model is the one that you're going to use for this sort of study next time, I would guess that future researchers would have to use the forest model instead of the other ones. Is that correct?
Okay. I think regarding the question that you raised now, the data set that I use, it actually gives us that random forest is actually the base model. But if the future researcher use different kind of data set, because we have splitted our data into two, training and testing. So if different researcher use different kind of data set, they may have a different base model, not necessarily the random forest model. So based on our data set that we have, and based on our split as well as testing data set, we see that random forest is actually best. So I cannot tell 100% that the other future researcher will also get the similar result, unless they use the same data set like the one I use. But if they use different data set, I think the outcome may change. The outcome may be different as well. All right.
Okay, thank you, doctor. That explains it.
Thank you, Prof. Razali and Prof. Aslamia for your discussion in this year. But if you don't mind, Dr. Aslamia, there are other questions that from the participant, because I think they are really interested to your, especially the presentation. Now, I would like to share the third.
Sorry, Professor Ari, it seems you stuck.
Sorry, Dr. Aslamia, for a technical problem here. Can you still follow our session? This connection is okay with your part? Your side?
Yeah. From my part is okay, but I did not get the questions.
Okay. So I would like to share again the third question. As you can see in this PPT. This is the third question talking about what do you think, Dr. Aslamia? Will bank offices disappear in the future and everything will be replaced by AI or machine learning, Doctor?
Okay, I think it's actually a very tough questions that you ask, and from my understanding, probably even Professor Adi, you also have some idea on this. I think there is nothing that can replace human being. My understanding is that whatever technologies, whatever method, whatever innovations we make, nothing can beat the human being, because even from the religious perspective, we are the superior in terms of any kind of life on earth that we have.
Yeah.
So my simple answer is like that. Okay, nothing can beat human being. Maybe the usage of manpower will reduce to some extent, because as you know that commercial entities, they always care about shareholders' wealth. They always care about profit maximization. So when those commercial entities see that they can minimize the cost by 10%, 20%, if they use artificial intelligence or machine learning, then of course they will refer to those machine learning and artificial intelligence, right? By laying off some of their employees. But they cannot completely eliminate everyone. As I have also pointed out, that machine learning, they only work based on the limited set of informations that they have. They cannot go beyond this box. But we human beings, we have unlimited, vision. We have unlimited vision. We can think anything outside the box. So maybe, my predictions, it may be true or maybe not, that, it might have an impact, okay, but completely replacing human being from banks or any kind of farms or offices, I don't think so is quite, reasonable to believe, okay? So that will be my expectations on this.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Aslamia, for your very interesting insights or opinion in this case. I think there is a last question, okay, for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
It is about this, okay, based on this article, okay, Latin, because this is said in an article in 2020, 22, 2 years ago. It is about artificial intelligence and business education. What should be taught? Okay, because it is said on the surface, business school appear to remain relevant. A student enrolled in program picks an areas of concentration they like, take classes for academic expert, and leave being job and future ready. Employability in the prime motivator for why people decide to go, even if it means making significant financial and personal sacrifices. The question is, where is the areas of concentration does the rapidly evolving realm of AI fit, especially in banking or finance industry, Prof? In this case, I just want to know your opinion,
Okay.
because
Yeah, I think
your presentation title is about how to optimize AI or machine learning in banking or finance, right?
okay, if I understood the questions correctly, even in education sector, we see that AI is being used even in education industry, in universities. And I think maybe it's in Harvard or Cambridge, they already have this AI professor. So this AI professor will actually, undertake some classes related to, I think, one of the courses that they have. So, if my opinion is that if we think that AI can bring some benefits in, enhancing our knowledge, enhancing our skills, then I do not see any point of integrating AI into the education programs. Let me give you one real example. For example, you see the Turnitin software, right? The one we use for plagiarism checking. They also use some sort of AI, okay? They also use some sort of AI technologies to detect whether you have plagiarized your content from somewhere else or not. And it's very useful. You see, if I want to do it manually, it's quite impossible for me to identify from which sources you have copied. So through the usage of this AI, I can detect within a minute from which source, which article, which author you have copied from. So you see, this is one of the very good side of this AI that is actually integrated into this education system. So, and I find it very, very useful, all right? Even as a researcher, as an academician. And, similarly, there are some students, they also try to get some quick help. For example, they will be using this chat GPT or all those kind of tools, whenever they come across any kind of, difficult or complex terms. So I think, to some extent, it is also beneficial to the students, okay? Let's say if I want to know something that I did not know, I can just simply give a search and I can ask ChatGPT to tell me the answer. You know, before this ChatGPT or AI, the only way to know the answer, you have to go to either library or you have to browse the book. But now you can actually stay at your home, use this search option and get the answer. So I think it also has a very positive side as well in education too. Okay, because the education, you know, that is also evolving throughout the last several decades, and there are many ways we can actually integrate these AI technologies in our education. And of course, this AI, as we consider it as a soft skill, utilizing AI also requires some kind of understanding. Okay, because you should not believe everything that AI actually gives you, because they can also give you some mis and wrong information. So in that case, my opinion is that I think there are a lot of potentials for AI to be used in education sector, but how we integrate it and how we utilize it remains the questions. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Aslamia, for your, I think, very interesting
Thank you.
arguments or opinion in this
Yeah.
case. Okay, right now is your session is finished. So I would like to give or deliver and all the participants deliver our high appreciation for your excellent presentation here.
Thank you very much,
Very
Professor Ari. It was
yeah,
wonderful.
because in my we believe that you have already given us so many insightful, especially how we have to embrace or how even optimize AI in finance or banking industry. Thank you very much, Dr. Asramia, once again for your excellent presentation. Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
okay. Other participants, we will move to the second panel discussion. We will get or we'll see the presentation from Dr. Azizi. Before that, I would like to share or read first his CV. Okay. Okay. Dr. Azaze Abdul Aziz Adis Azizi Abdul Adis is distinguished associate professor in marketing. Okay. In the Faculty of Business, Economic Accountancy, University Malaysia Sabah. His academic journey commenced with a diploma in banking from College Ugama, Sultan Abidin, formerly known as University Sultan Zainal Abidin. Building a valid foundation, he pursued a bachelor degree in business administration with a concentration in marketing from University Technology Mara UITM in 2000. After completing his undergraduate studies, Dr. Azizi embarked on a professional journey, initially working as a sales executive at Sabah Urban Development Corporation Sendirian Berhad. However, his passion for academia led him to join University Malaysia Sabah as the temporary tutor for a year, marking the beginning of his academic career in 2001. In pursuit of further knowledge and specialization in marketing, Dr. Azizi pursued a Master of Science in Marketing at University Putra Malaysia, UPM, in 2002. His academic pursuit didn't stop there, as he's continuing to excel in his field by undertaking a Doctor of Business Administration in Marketing at Chungnam National University, South Korea, graduating in 2014. Dr. Azizi's expertise encompasses various facets of marketing, including Korean wave marketing, social media marketing, cultural and tourism marketing, and halal marketing. His dedication and proficiency in these areas have been acknowledged through his receipt of 2 Korean government grants, which enable him to delve deeper into Korean marketing studies and culture through research. Overall, Dr. Azizi Abdul Adis stands as a testament to academic excellence and dedication, contributing significantly to the field of marketing through his research, teaching expertise. So, I would like to invite Dr. Azizi to present his presentation. Dr. Azizi, time is yours.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you very much, Prof, for your very good introduction. I believe that that biodata that I already shared last time in February when I visited UNJ, right? For for the invite as an invited speaker at the at the UNJ. So I very appreciate. So I thought that because everyone before me they shared their very detail of the the biodata, CV, and so on. So I was wondering, I didn't share anything. So I remembered that when I visited the UNJ in February, and I mean your team has asked about the the biodata. So I think that that's good enough as an introduction for myself at the at the this conference. So I'm very appreciate to everyone, all participants to invited. I was invited for to share on this conference, International Students Conference on the business, education, economics, and accountancy and management, and organized by the UNJ mainly. So actually that let me share my slides. I think is my presentation is I assume that will be a very short, about 20 minutes or maybe 25 minutes. It depends on the how the session goes after this. So yeah. So basically that my presentation today is, since that I think that everyone, all the MC already explain and also introduce that my field is from the marketing area. So I would like to touch on the how does the AI culture has been practiced and also adapt by most of the marketing, especially from the marketing perspective. So I think that some of us here, the participants and also the lecturers, also maybe some of your topics and also your focus is on the business, right? And some of you, maybe you are aware that there are so much growth and also a rapidly growth in terms of the acceptance. So I was wondering that is it the students that accept attend this conference, do they are already familiarized with the AI machine that we are using in our daily education, and also when you are doing your research? Honestly, that I'm also teach my students in using AI in their research. Especially I'm supervising about 12 PhD students as a main supervisor. So normally that I'm really urge my student, you fully utilize, take this opportunity. There are so many AIs out there, but just make sure that you are the one who control. The idea is from you, that you get all the sources from this, the AI, fully utilize all the facilities. Unlike that, when our era, my era when I did my PhD, my master's, right? We base on the, the online sources from the library, and we go, which is subscribed by university. If the university has, subscribed that journals that we are looking for. Otherwise, that I'm very appreciate, very thankful that in Malaysia, because we have a group of the postgraduate or doctorate group in the Facebook, where this Facebook group initiated by one of the professor, I think is from USM, that he wanted to to share any knowledge, which means that all the students who join that group in the FP, that they can share. For example, like if my university in South Korea at that time, my university didn't subscribe that journal, so I can place my source or maybe ask a favor from other fellows in that club. So any students who are doing at the same time, they are doing their masters and also they're doing their postgraduate studies, they also can check and also whether their university, respective university, also subscribe that journal and that they're going to share with me. So this is how it's very helpful, you know, the group. So I think that now the culture of the, you know, the AI is getting booming, you know, it's getting more acceptance from the students. So from the, you know, the marketing perspective, I can see that the navigating the AI culture, especially in the marketing systems, also similar, you know, with the, you know, the current growth of the AI acceptance in the world. So this is my my outlines of my presentation today. So I'm going to start with the evolution of the AI within the marketing system until I close down my presentation today by looking into what are the opportunities that we can see or leverage from the AI in marketing area. Okay. So as you can see that this is there are what I can conclude that there are 6 evolution or ecosystem that we can see in the marketing ecosystem here, starting from the early adoption, how we as in marketing, for example, that we started to adopt the AI in our industry. So normally that maybe some of you or the audience here have heard about the email marketing, that we heard that or we received the email selling a product through our email. So this is what we call is the email marketing. This is how the AI has been started, you know, and also that the AI also at the early adoption, they are not quite fast, you know, growth in this era. You know, they only focus on the email marketing, and also some of the companies, they want to know the do something like the customer segmentation in order to know the behavior. Okay, what is the preference of the you know, of the consumer? Okay, and the second one is after the early adoption of the AI in the marketing, then we move into the, you know, the customer try to understand more about, you know, the AI itself, where the AI capabilities is very advanced and it enables the deeper analysis of the customer data, which is leading into the, you know, the market segmentation, as in the early adoption is very more accurate and personalized. So this is, as you can see, that the transformation, which is only the awareness of the, you know, the email marketing and also the customer segmentation, and after that they move into a more deeper, where the, you know, the developer of the AI, they want to know that what is the behavior, what is the preference of the customer. Then after that we go into the, you know, the moving into the stage where the AI has been used in order to predict analysis, you know, where the AI empowered the marketers to focus the consumer behavior. Okay, and it also allow to target what kind of the advertising preference and also the product recommendation that preferred by the customer. So this is, you can see that only the awareness, and after that getting more deeper in terms of the understanding what is the segmentation of the consumer behavior, and after that they want to predict what is the, you know, the future, or whether it's a preference in terms of the, you know, that the product recommendation that they can propose to the customer online. And after that, the chatbots and virtual assistants has come out and also you know, employed by these marketers, where they are revolutionize the customer service by providing the instant responses and personalized interactions. So this is one thing that you can see, that now most of the company, they are no longer using, you know, the after sales service or the customer service officer in order to respond or to take up your call. So this chatbot virtual assistant is one of it, that in order to, you know, to respond quickly to the any questions or any complaints or any concerns from the customers. And after that, the content creation and optimization is also come into the picture of the marketing ecosystem, where the it's kind of the, you know, the AI tools that like natural language processing, which is facilitate the automated content generation. optimization and A/B testing in order to improve the marketing effectiveness. So that is until they reach into the final stage of the the marketing ecosystems into the the real-time decision making, which is some of the marketers, they try to put the real-time insights. Some of you already aware of the live streaming, in China, for example, like the live streaming marketing e-commerce is so very popular. So now I'm also supervising a one PhD student from China, which is he also interested, focus on the live streaming, a business or e-commerce through the social media in China, which is they see that this live streaming is going, very popular and then well accepted because of the, the live streaming is one of the, now is, I would say that this is a kind of the, a current one, even though in Malaysia also, we also highly use of this live streaming, especially using the TikTok. They use a live and everything in order to promote, especially for the business purposes. So come back into that, the evolution, right? I can see that, which is what already I've been, discussed, I explained by Professor Aslam just now in terms of the AI culture definition. I think there's not so much difference in terms of the AI culture definition of the, the here, okay, and then where they refer to the pervasive integration, okay, of artificial intelligence, and they're using the technologies, methodologies, as well as the values. So this is what we are looking, talking about the AI culture. But what I want to highlight you in this, the session is where we as, the AI tools and technologies also use, we know that it's used in order to develop, for the development of the mindset, in order to embrace the AI-driven approaches through the problem solving, innovation, and organizational strategy. So these are the three keywords that I think that the culture of AI acceptance nowadays that has been very popular among the users, because of they want to find what is the solution, what is the answer at the same time. And of course, the AI also permits and also help us in order to innovate, to invent something, invent a product, or give you something like, or what are the idea that perhaps that never been, developed, and also helping the companies, okay, helping the companies to do the to strategize their management or their systematic strategy, okay, in their company. So talking about the AI, the role of the AI, especially from the consumer behavior prediction as well as the personalization. I tried to quote from the, Nguyen Zheng and Chu in 2020 that they conclude that the role of the AI in especially in particular on the consumer behavior prediction and personalization can be a more focused on the 4 areas. Number 1 is using AI as to help you in terms of to analyze the data, okay? So where there are a lots of, vast amounts of the consumer data around, and from the various sources, including the online interactions, purchase history, as well as the social media activity. So that's why, in order to identify the patterns and trends, so this is a kind of the very useful, fruitful, role of the AI to the marketers. I remember that one of my friends, which is doing on the marketing science in South Korea last time, he is a Pakistan and doing research on the marketing science. So when the study is doing on the Amazon website, so what he did was his research, he tried to collaborate with the people from the international, the information technology or computer science, in order to search, to collect the data from the Amazon. So they want to see that from the web, or the page of the Amazon, where is the preference of the consumer or the viewers when they open the web. So from there, with the technology of AI, they can detect, the eyes, the retina of the eyes of the consumer or the viewers, that the first exposure. So the contribution from this research is, it also gives the idea to the Amazon developer or any web developer to place any advertisement in any part of the page of the company, because of that is the first page. Actually, this is a transformation from the traditional one, when that advertising, for example, when we read the newspapers, right? So the first page, the second page, and the third page, that the first page and the third page is the highest price, the rate that normally the newspaper developer they're going to charge to the company. Because of that is the exposure there, direct exposure. This is the same thing with the marketing science that they are also doing right now. Okay. And the second one, the second role that also to predict this consumer behavior is a predictive analysis. As we know that by leveraging the machine learning and also the predictive modeling techniques, the AI predicts the future consumer behavior, okay, based on the historical data, enabling marketers to anticipate needs, preferences, as well as the purchase intention. So this is one of the, one of the role that is a very popular role, especially most of the organization and the company out there, they've been using of this. And number 3 is personalized recommendation, where the AI-powered recommendation system generate, the personalized product recommendation tailored to individual preference, okay, and behaviors, and also enhance the shopping experience and also driving the sales conversion rates by doing this the personalized recommendation. And last but not least is by using this AI also plays as to set for the to implement the dynamic pricing, okay, strategies based on the real-time market conditions and the consumer demand signals, okay, by optimizing the pricing strategies to maximize the revenue and also the competitiveness. So I think that these that are very popular nowadays. I'm sure that this kind of the 4 different roles that plays of AI in order to to predict the consumer behavior is getting more popular among the company when they are fully utilized into the e-commerce in the future. And talking about that, the contributions of the content creation and distribution strategies, which is, as we know that, how is it that AI contribute in content creation and also distribution strategies? So what I can conclude from the past study by Xiao and Ben Bassat, which is they said that there are 4 main contributions of the AI towards the content creation. Okay, so number 1 is the automated content generation. As you know that the AI technologies is a very natural language processing that generate the algorithms, automated content across various formats. So you just give the instruction, and also at the same time it saves your time and of course the resources required. But of course you cannot compare with what I can say is, even though that we are using AI in order to facilitate our activities, in order to facilitate what we want, our objective in create content, but at the same time it also requires our skills, our idea, in order to cross check, in order to double check whether the content is correct or not. And at the same time, it also to help us to reduce time. Actually, in the first place, when we do this kind of the AI for the content creation, because of we don't want to go to the proper training, with very high cost of proper training just to create a content. So because of this AI has been developed, has been introduced to the market, the most of the, even though the individual like me also are using this kind of, take this opportunity to develop our own content creation. So we also have a skill on that, but of course we are still have more to study or to learn, you know, in terms of the polishing the content creation. The second one is in terms of the content optimization, where this AI helps the marketers or help us in optimizing the content for search engines and the target audience by analyzing the user behavior. Okay, it also do the sentiment analysis as well as the keyword trends, you know, improving content relevance as well as the visibility of your content. So you can see that what is the current one that has been talking about by most of the, you know, by the audience. And number three is the personalized content experience, where it also delivery the personalized content experience to tailor the individual preferences, and also browsing history through the content recommendation systems, and also dynamic content modules by increasing the engagement and also the conversion rates. Okay, and last but not least is the automated distribution channels, where it also using the multiple across multiple channels, including the social media. I think that most of us are using Facebook, you know, and now is a current one is the TikTok, you know, the email marketing, which is a quite old, but now is getting reducing in terms of popularity, and the programmatic advertising that already been programmed, you know, and analyze the audience behavior as well as the performance data to automate the content scheduling as well as the target and optimization. Okay. So what are the ethical implications actually of the artificial intelligence in marketing? So of course, the concerns here for the ethical implication can be, you know, divided into two implications as a whole. Number one is, of course, we are concerned about the privacy concern, right? Using this, you know, the AI-driven marketing practices, which is involved the collection analysis of a large volumes of consumer data. So, of course, the privacy concern is one thing, and also about the privacy infringement and also the data misuse by using this, you know, the AI. So this is one of the concern by the not only the marketers but the individual as well. So the marketers must ensure the transparent data collection practices need to be done, and obtain the explicit consent from the consumers and adhere to data protection regulation to safeguard the consumer privacy. And the second one is algorithmic bias. Okay, so as you know that the AI algorithms used in marketing may exhibit the bias due to the bias training data that has been used, flawed algorithms, or implicit assumptions. So all of this is one of the bias that normally concern us. You know, so these bias can lead into discriminatory outcomes, right? Forcing stereotypes and marginalizing certain groups. Which is the marketers need to actively mitigate the algorithmic bias by auditing the algorithm, blah 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 blah. Okay, so the algorithmic bias here in marketing is something is I think that some of the you know, the marketers here nowadays, I think not only in Malaysia, I think the other parts of the world also, they are using AI without knowledge. Maybe they don't know how to use it. Maybe they don't have a proper training. Maybe they don't have a proper you know, coaching from someone expert. So I think these are the things that need to be overcome, or to solve at their parts, okay, of the ethical implication of this. And as an organization, right, what is you know, the strategies in order to maintain the ethical AI practices? So there are 5 strategies, general strategies in order to maintain this ethical AI. Is number one, as I mentioned before in the previous slide, is transparent in terms of the data practices, that we need to be you know, transparent about the data collection and the usage practices that we use while we use this kind of data. And we also need to provide a clear explanation of how the consumer data will be utilized, okay, and also offer the opt-in and out mechanism for the data sharing. So this is a transparency is one, is also very important. The second one is the ethical AI governance by the organization. So where the company or organization should establish the robust, governance frameworks and ethical guidelines for AI development and deployment in the marketing campaigns. So there must be a guidelines. I think this is a good practice that need to be adopted by most of the organization. And in order to address the privacy, in order to address the fairness and accountability and transparency, consideration, to ensure that the ethical AI practice uphold throughout the marketing process. Okay. And number three is diversity and inclusion. Where as a marketers, we also need to appreciate and also give the prioritization on the diversity and also inclusion in the AI development teams and data collection efforts. So which means that we appreciate various ideas and opinions, okay, in order to mitigate the bias and also to ensure the representation across diverse demographic groups. And if you incorporate all of these diverse perspectives and experiences, I think that the organization can develop a more inclusive and also equitable AI solutions for their AI, the practices. Okay. Number four is the continuous monitoring evaluation. Through monitoring the AI algorithms and marketing campaigns for the potential ethical issues that you can see that there's a potential issues arise in the future. And also regular audits need to be done, okay, through the impact assessment. What is the feedback mechanism which is enable the organization to identify and address the ethical concern proactively. And also the ethical education and training also is very important. I think that our keynote speaker, the professor, the keynote speaker just before in the beginning of the conference mentioned about their education. Same goes to the speaker before me, that this kind of the education and training is also one of the concern by most of the practices. But the organization also need to follow that as well. So which is by providing a proper training and also education programs to the marketing professionals about the ethicals of the AI practices, in terms of the privacy regulations, what is the do's and don'ts. I think this is most of the the marketers, they always I think misuse or overlook. I don't want to say that the marketers are always manipulate or maybe they exploit the use of the AI nowadays, but I prefer to say that maybe there are lack of knowledge in using these AI practices. Okay. So the awareness need to be raised, okay, need to educate them in order to promote the ethical decision making. And also the organization can empower the marketers to navigate the ethical challenges effectively. Okay. And what you can see that the future trends in the AI marketing. Okay. So I can see that there are four different trends, perhaps that maybe in general, maybe there are more, but this is what I can see, in terms of the future of the AI marketing nowadays. Number one is by enhance of the predictive narrative. I think this is a very kind of, very popular nowadays among the companies. They want to know what is the behavior, what is the preference, what is the potential behavior of the audience or the consumer nowadays, or maybe in the future, in the next 5 years, in the next 3 years. So I think that if you have the data now, okay, it's easily you can sell, with thousands of dollars to the companies, because they are really hungry of this kind of data, the predictive analysis to predict the behavior. to get the more accurate predictions of the consumer behavior, in order to get the what is the future market trends on that particular industry, and also in terms of the campaign performance, for example. So all of this is also needed, because of why I noticed that the company that they try to cut their costs by not outsourcing the skills. For example, like if they want to get the data, they try not to hire the consultants in order to do this job for them. So they prefer to buy the machine, okay, and use the software, for example, to subscribe, and in order to see the trends. Okay, so this is one of the something that they can see. And number two is hyper personalization, where it become increased and popular, sophisticated, which is also and enable and also encourage the marketers or us in order to deliver the hyper targeted and contextual relevant experience across the multiple channels. So when we get involved with a different channels, our behavior also different in order to suit with the audience for the particular channel. Okay, so we leverage the data insights and also the AI algorithms here, and the marketers can tailor the message and offers as well as the recommendation to the individual preferences. Okay, and AI powered customer experience, also one of the trends that we can see in the future in terms of the popularity of using chatbots, the popularity of the virtual assistants, the voice enabled devices, as well as in order to facilitate the customer service and engagement in marketing. So it also the AI driven in terms of the customer experience platform also can deliver in terms of the personalized. I think most of the company, they are using this. So they try to present based on what is the request and demand by the audience, and also the conversational interaction in real time, as well as resolving queries, providing recommendation, as well as of course at the same time that they want to maintain their image in order to enhance the brand loyalty of the company. And also the predictive content creation is also one of the the trends that also get more attention from the audience. Okay, in terms of the to generating the personalized content experience base, okay, through social media, okay, Facebook, TikTok, and so on. Okay, so the opportunities for the leveraging AI in the marketing, we can see that there are personalized marketing campaigns. Okay, this is one of the opportunities that we can see where to create the highly personalized marketing campaign tailored to the individual customer preference and behaviors. I think this one is already I already explained to you in detail about the personalized marketing. So one of the opportunities that they can be leveraged for the leverage AI in marketing that we can see, maybe we can propose to the company nowadays, is personalized marketing. Second is predictive customer insight. Okay, as I mentioned earlier in the beginning of my presentation, that this predictive customer insight is very valuable to the company in order to get the understanding of the customer behavior, the customer preferences, as well as the lifetime value, okay, of the using this predictive customer insight. And the third one is automated marketing operations. Okay, is one of that can see that in terms of the to streamline the marketing operation by automating the repetitive tasks such as email marketing, social media management, as well as the campaign optimization. So this is the kind of the opportunities that you can see. Okay, and also by deploy the AI-powered marketing automation tools, the marketers can save time, because we want to save our time here, and and improve our efficiency. And of course, it's omni-channel engagement is another opportunities to deliver the seamless and also personalized experience across the multiple touch points, including the, you developing the websites, mobile apps, the social media, and also other offline channels. Okay. And by integrating or by the integrating the AI driven into the customer experience platform. So the company also can engage the customers at every stage of the buyer journey, okay, and enhance, of course, the final objective of the the using this omni-channel engagement is to get the to increase the brand loyalty as well as to improve their sales lah, at the same time. So I think that this is the basically that how the AI the utilization, how the practices of the AI in the from the marketing perspective that we can see. And I believe that this AI is one of the is getting more popular after this, and the company are going to like they are more look into the potential AI that can solve their problem. Okay, so yeah, I think that's all from me at the moment. Thank you very much. Maybe I will really appreciate for the Q&A after this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Azizi, for your insightful presentation. I really appreciate your presentation because talking about the AI application or implementation in marketing system, especially how to transform marketing strategy right in the 21st century by using or optimizing AI, it is really a challenge because I know exactly how right now artificial intelligence really influence or has a great impact or especially in marketing field, as you present before. Before that, before we come to the Q&A question, if you don't mind, I would like to ask you about something because it relates what I read in Harvard Business Review. I just want to ask your opinion, Dr. Azizi.
Okay.
It's okay for you?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, please.
Yeah, I would like to share this with you. Can you see Dr. Azizi?
Can you enlarge the screen
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I can
Okay.
see better?
Okay. A minute. Iya, nanti sebentar, ini nggak kelihatan di sini saya. Ini di bawah sini masalahnya. Oh ya, sorry. Oke. Ya, kasih ya. Oke. Can you see this slide, Dr. Azizi?
Yes, yes, sure.
Yeah, because I think interesting talking about how to use AI, how to design AI marketing strategy as you present it. Yeah, because I just want to ask about this kind of statement. I want to know how is your opinion, because in the conclusion of this article, which is shown in Harvard Business Review, in the conclusion, the authors said that despite the hype, AI can still accomplish only narrow tasks, not run an entire marketing function or process. Nevertheless, it's already offering substantial benefits to marketers. And in fact, it is essential in some marketing activities, and its capability are rapidly growing. Believe that AI will automatically transform marketing, but it's a journey that will take decades. What do you think about? Because it's interesting because I think the last class that it is said, but it's a journey that will take decades. Meanwhile, as we can see right now,
Yeah, I think
the
I do
technology
agree.
is runs exponentially, right?
Yes. Yeah. I think that in my opinion, I do agree with this statement. Even though that we cannot depend 100% with AI. I think I did mention in the beginning of my presentation that when I teach my PhD students to use AI for their research, is just to get the information, it's just to get a better understanding. But at the same time, the mastermind is you. The student is the mastermind. You are the one who create everything. So you don't have to rely 100% on the AI. This is what I said. I think I do agree. I think the speaker before me is Prof. Astam also did mention that even though that in banking sector, right, are using the AI nowadays, but he still believe that the human touch is also important. Same goes to the marketing. I think that even though that you ask the AI about a certain question in order to help the company for the marketing strategies and so on, what I can see is the AI, they give a very standardized answer, and in order to make sure that your answer, and also we as the human and we as the expert or the company, we know better about our position, we know better about our education, I mean our company. So we are the ones should create a more meaningful way on how, even though that we get all the main content from the AI, at the same time we are still have to get involved with the development process. So come back to the journey that will take decade. Yes, but I believe that if we have keep on reminding the future generation, and even know that our students on that don't rely 100%, but of course there is it takes times for us to make them believe, even though that, for example, even though that I urge my students to use that in the class, some of the students, they're using this. So normally I always give something like say a punishment, when they submit their assignments, everything, and you can easily read that assignment. Oh, I think this is AI. Have you used the ChatGPT and so on? So we as the expert, we know better, and that we should give something like a punishment, or maybe to give a lesson. Even though they're using AI is permissible, but at the same time you have to be clever in using that. So that is my honest opinion for the question.
Thank you very much for your insightful and fruitful opinions, Dr. Azizi. I think it's important for us as educators or even practitioner to learn from your opinion how we try to embrace or implement or optimize AI in our in any field, especially in this case it's in marketing field, of course.
Yes.
Thank you. So before that, I would like to invite honor participants to ask some question to Dr. Azizi. Is there any questions from the participant? Okay. Yeah. Please, sorry, Mrs. or Mr. Rota? Oh, Miss Rota.
Yes, Miss Rota. Yeah.
Mr. Rota from Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta. Please,
Yeah.
you can ask some question for Dr. Azizi.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Azeze, for the presentation. So I'm Rotam from Madagascar, but I'm an international student in Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta. In fact, actually, I was conducting a research about AI-driven pricing dynamic. Like we can now some mobile app for sellings, like for example, Tokopedia, Shopee, and something like that. So now those kind of online market, they can use AI to
Yes.
change the price.
Right.
Because the prices are not fixed, they are dynamic. So they change
Yes.
according to the historical or I don't know, the behaviors of the customers. Or sometimes even we have the problem, like, for example, we are buying ticket flight in another country. For example, you want to buy a ticket flight to go to Europe. So if you are located in Indonesia, it's going to be expensive. But if you are located in Africa, it's going to be more expensive.
Yes.
So that's the point, because AI is like sometimes it discriminates, or sometimes it's not clear for customers or clients why the price is like that. So I think that it's important, like you said, to implement transparency and disclosures with that. And I don't know how is the context for in Asia. So what do you think about that?
I think that I think because of as I mentioned just now, the AI culture is getting more popular, and then the company also they take the advantage in order to manipulate, exploit this kind of the technology in their own business. Because of we as a consumer, in the marketing field, because we have no choice. Okay, if you want to go that place and then the Asia is the only flight that you have to use, I think that is the advantage will taken by the Asia in order to set up for the price, for that. So same goes to the others, because of the come back to the economics of the philosophy where the, if you are monopoly, in the market, so you can really easily, you can charge the price for that. So I think that even though that as the consumer, I think it's a challenge for us. If there is no choices for us in order to pick up, the company that offering the same business, I think that these are company, they are still, consistently using that kind of the facilities in order to manipulate the price of the product. Okay, so it depends on us, actually. It depends on the consumer. So because of you cannot change the market because it's uncontrollable. Am I answer your question? Sorry.
All right. Yeah, that answers the question. Yeah, but actually, has law students. I study law, so I think it's better to regulate it.
Yes.
So even if the companies wants to keep secrets for their business, I think it's very important for the clients and customers to know, to be transparent, like how the prices are fixed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the answer.
Yeah. Thank you. Yep.
Okay, thank you very much for Mr. Rota for your question and the response from Dr. Azizi. Yeah, is there any question from other participants? Okay, Prof, I would like to share. This is a question. Okay. There's a question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because but the first the question number 3. This is from Miss Ella Rosel. Okay.
So what is the
It said that what is the implication for SMEs if the guide on tourism activity is like a museum chance with AI, artificial intelligence?
Can you clarify this question? I'm not really understand the what is the point of this. Is it the guide?
It is like activities like if we come to the museum right now, they are actually they are artificial apps or artificial intelligence like application. So There is no any information. There is no what we call guide tour or officer in
I see.
in the museum that I mean the AI will replace some jobs in the museum.
Yes. Yeah, I do agree with this, with your answer, because of the recently that I think that the research on the tourism industry, especially in tourism marketing using AI, is also one of the popular, been got, high recognition because of, especially it happens to the area or the tourism destination where the place is very far and complicated, and also that it also limits the user or the tourist is very limited time in order to explore all area. So that's why I can see that this kind of the AI is very useful in that sense. But if you think that that area is easy for you to explore, you just go physically, yeah. This is, I think, has been used, because of the some of the areas. For example, like for example, I'm located in Sabah, which is in the island of Borneo. So also in Sarawak. So, for example, like the Sarawak state also, they already started this kind of the AI in order to explore because of they want to boost and create awareness. Oh, actually, you go to this place is like this, so that they can give the initial picture, okay, the portray to the visitors that if you go to this place, this is kind of view or experience you're going to experience before you go physically. I think it's a very good kind of technique that you can use in order to promote the place. You don't compare with those are very popular one. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Prof, for your response. And if you don't mind, there are two other questions. Okay, this is the okay, question number 1 and number 2. If you don't mind, you can
What are the companies?
you can respond it all together. The
Okay.
question 1 is, what are companies' main challenges when integrating AI into their marketing strategies? And how do we solve the problem? Okay, because and the question is, as you said, personalization is one of the roles of AI. However, personalization is costly. So how can, for example, in this case, a small medium enterprise utilize AI marketing in their limited budget, of course?
Okay, yeah, I think that there's most of the company, right? They are very since that I mentioned just now that they are looking into what is the perfect AI for them in order to help them to facilitate their daily business, right? So I think that the challenges of you need to be well trained, or maybe you can hire someone in order to knowledgeable or experts in using this AI. I think that is one of the very significant investment for the company, which is most of the company, they are not going to invest on this. Right. I think if you give them, you ask for a research grant, they are not going because they don't see that is that any beneficial for them. This is based on my experience with the SME. And I urge, I think it's about 10 years ago when I did research on the digital marketing in the SME. I think that this is one of the, when you compare, I give you the one example, when I visited 2 different companies, SMEs. One is run and operated by a young ladies at the age of 25 years old, and the other one is 45 and above. And you can see that the young ladies is quite a very a beginner. It's started about 5 years. And you can see that it's a very consistent in terms of sales and growing. And in his company, he has only 2 employees only, herself and also the other staff. And the other staff is in charge of the AI and also the social media in order to get order everything, just to get a promote everything. Compared to the other company, which is run by the 45 years old lady, which is have about 5 to 6 employees in her company. And this lady, from the 3 branches of company, reducing into half unit of the building, which means that when I asked her, why don't you just use the social media, the AI, all of these things in order to help you to promote your product? And she said, I don't have time for that. So, but you can see that the improvement, the implication in terms of the sales, that lady just now with the 25 years old is getting more and more bigger in terms of the business. And this lady, which is the experience is more than 10 years, is now closing down her business from the 3 blocks of 3 shops into the half shops of the building. That is the implication when you don't use this. I don't manipulate of this kind of the experience. So talking about the personalization, right? Of course, personalization is a very cost. It's very expensive. But in yours, if your product is highly involved, that need get for the client in order to understand, to get involved in your product. I think the personalization is very important so that you can deliver the more understanding to the user and also to the consumer. Okay, compared to when you use the mass marketing strategy, which is only the consumer, the product, which is a very simple, you can use the standardized marketing strategy is also good. It depends on what kind of the product that you are using. I think, okay, that is from me. It's very fast, okay, but I hope that it's answered the question.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Azizi, for your really insightful and fruitful insights. Because
thank you.
Because your answer or your insights in this question represent what your expertise and how you predict how is your opinion about the future of AI in marketing. Thank you so much, Dr. Azizi. So I think we come to the end of your session, because right now is 11 past 30 or 32, and I would like to deliver our high appreciation to your presentation on behalf of all the participants to your presentation. Thank you very much, Dr. Azizi, and I would like to give back this session to the MC, to the moderator, yeah, Master of Ceremony. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for our speakers today, and also to Mr. Ari Waroka for moderating our panel discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, to commemorate today's important event, let us now prepare our best smiles and join together for a photo session. On my marks, ready? 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next session is the International Exhibition of Vocational Programs, which will be led by Mrs. Cynthia Noor. To Mrs. Cynthia Noor, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to International Exhibition, Faculty of Economics, Universitas Negeri Jakarta. I am Cynthia Nur Safitri, and I will show you how to access International Exhibition to ISC-BEAM's website. So let me share my screen. Okay, the first step, you need to open the web browser that you prefer, and then in the address bar, type fe.usg.ic.id/ISC-BEAM / and then fe.usg.ic.id/I ISC-BEAM class. Okay, and here is my menu of the ISC-BEAM 2024. For access the exhibition, you need to click the exhibitions button on the top of the website. So after that, you will find a cadence form that you must fill in. You need fill in the form with the data that requires, such as your name, the organization, the country of origin, the email, and your WhatsApp. Indonesia. Okay. So here is the my menu of exhibitions, international exhibitions, and there are three categories of international exhibitions, such as the best service project, the best goods project, and the best idea project. If you want to see the best project, you can click one of the projects, and if you want to know the more about the project, you can click this button, and it will bring you to the WhatsApp contact of the author. And if you want to know about the presentation, the project, you can click this one, and it will bring you to the YouTube. If you want to know the project, the detail of the project, you can click this one, and it will bring you to the poster of the ebook of the project. If you want to see all of the projects, you can click this button. Just wait. And here is the 19 pages of the project. If you want to see the poster of the ebook of the project, you can click this one. And if you want to know the presentation of the project, you can click this one. If you want to search the product or the project, you can go to the search field and type the project by the name, by the major, or by the product, like this. Okay, there are the tutorial to access the international exhibition. Thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoy to exploring the international exhibition. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Mrs. Cynthia Noor for leading our international exhibition of vocational programs.
For the next session, there will be a 60-minute break. But before that, we would also like to announce that there will be a parallel session of the 2024 ISC-BEAM. We also like to inform that there will be a breakout room that's already being sent to the WhatsApp group. See you again after the parallel session, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
At what time we can join the parallel session?
One hour, 20 minutes from now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, organizer. I have questions. Are we using the same link for entering the parallel sessions?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.